where you pre-empire and I build it up brick by brick. This is this. You're watching Gambian Talents TV, you know. What the problems?
Take it from a kid. Mim fama hanifen tuwaeja. I'm getting it all is soul man. Muka hanifen tuwaleja. Albeni la ya duwaleja. Al seja burjam. Ndul kabi freedom of space te buwaleja. Duwal bela duwa du buwal be buwa. Eh, Allah bolan esti Gambian dream brikama boyo.
Ndul kanna.
It's all about Gambian's Talent TV. Tune in direct. Ala GB. Stay tuned. Mimbe kiring Gambia. Mimbe kiring Gambia Bantala. Gambia. Look.
This is Abdul Karim Wagan Faye, and right now you're tuned into Gambia Talents TV, numero uno online TV.
Si a wi'i pullo ko pular waɗi sabu wi'uɗamo pullo leñol ka ɗengal ɗo min harata ko yaari ka diina ko yaari ka dewle ko yaari ka neediji ɗin ko yaari ka gandal ko yaari ka julaaɓe men ɓen ko yaari ka laamuji men e kala pullo e ɓiɗɗo pullo ko woniri e ko jokki ko ɗo hewtoton jange men janno men jannidiren ko ɗo min jangata comme ko yaari hayen ɗimbindi men inneteɗi adlam kaka suudu ɗo ko e nde awlitande ɗo jangeten jannoton jannidiren jokkodiron e an ka nder suudu men ga e nde awlitande men leñol ko ɗengal alkamisa be alkamisa fuɗɗoto noon ila ñande nogay e jeego ndu lewru porto innetendu septembre nogay e jeego septembre lewru porto honto ɗum watta nder Gambian Talents TV e hombo min jomon on Aissatou Diallo on jarama.
Welcome to yet another presentation ceremony, and this time around we're here at Govi to witness another presentation ceremony to the Gambia Federation for Disabled. We're here today to present sanitary materials, all geared towards the contamination of COVID-19 in the Gambia. With me I have the Director of Health Promotion and Education, Mr. Modunjai. I have the Director of the Gambia Federation of Disabled, Mr. Bahum, who is also here with us. With me also I have Mr. Mane, but I'll just want to allow the Director of Health Promotion and Education, Mr. Njai, to deliver a few remarks. Mr. Njai, you're welcome. Okay, before Mr. Njai, we can have the Director of the Gambia Federation of Disabled, who is Mr. Momodu A.F. Bahum, to deliver his statement first. Mr. Bahum, you're welcome.
To another presentation to the Gambia Federation of the Disabled through the support of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare in collaboration with COVID-19 response team. Reaching out to persons with disability moment is very crucial and it's timely. And I really appreciate this gesture and welcome the Director of Health and Promotion, who is no other person but my namesake, Modu Njai, to this Federation's office to hand over these materials that is here beforehand for onward delivery to persons with disabilities in the provinces. I think these are people that need to be reached out to for being the most vulnerable so far. And I really appreciate this brilliant gesture that COVID-19 response team have for persons with disability. This really manifests the inclusive approach they have for all people, including the most vulnerable ones, who is no other persons but persons with disabilities, who among most of them are visually impaired, others are hard of hearing, others are crippled and crawling, and are socially distanced in staying at home and need to be cared for, because he who could not go by himself or cannot move or cannot see by himself and need a second or a third party to support, that third party or himself need to be protected. And one means of protecting that particular individual is by providing sanitary materials like gels, face masks, and the like. And at this moment that we are receiving that from COVID-19 response team through the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, we are more than grateful. He who should have gone and buy this thing, and it cost him thousands or hundreds of dollars, reaching out to that particular individual with this magnificent gesture is worth to be welcomed, and is worth to be appreciated, and we really appreciate this gesture, and I welcome you all to the Federation's office, and I hope that this would be a continuous process. Not only do we need hand sanitizers, masks, and the like, but equally we need food items and other issues that relate to the life and livelihood of persons with disability. Remember, a greater majority of persons with disabilities are not employed, and we have a total number of 300,000 persons with disabilities in the Gambia, 120,000 of which are seriously disabled. These include visually impaired, hard of hearing, and the physically challenged. So this chunk of people who are seated at home and socially distanced by this COVID-19 disease or virus really means these people have the worst to face. Life within COVID-19 virus and life after COVID-19 would be hectic and would be difficult. So this is why I call upon the government and all other partners to really respond to persons with disability at this crucial moment. On that note, I welcome Mr. Njai and his team and all the other protocols duly observed in our Federation's office, Govi complex. Thank you.
We're together in this, as COVID-19 is non-discriminatory. It doesn't know religion, differently disabled or not. So it is the responsibility of the COVID-19 response team to cater for everybody, and then we're all together in this. Now I'd just like to invite the Director of Health Promotion and Education, Mr. Momodu Njai, to come and deliver his statement.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson Awosou, who is a very strong member of the Risk Communication and Community Engagement Subcommittee of the National Health Emergency Committee on COVID-19 response. We are happy to be here today. I'm representing the entire Ministry of Health, and then here on my behalf, I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Ahmed Lamin Samate. I also want to thank Mr. Bahum for welcoming us to the Gambia Federation for the Disabled Complex. And I also want to thank Mr. Mane, Lamin Mane, for also initiating our link between the RCCE committee, that's the Risk Communication and Community Engagement Committee, linking us to the Gambia Federation of the Disabled in this country. Just to assure you, Mr. Mane is a very strong and active member of the Risk Communication and Community Engagement Subcommittee, and he's also an advocate for all the disabled people in this country. Over 300,000 of you are here, according to Mr. Bau. Mr. Mane has been your advocate. And we want to assure you that the ministry will continue to partner with the Gambia Federation of the Disabled to give them the necessary support, to provide them with the necessary information that they can use to prevent themselves from COVID-19. We are here today, and then all the messages that are going to be sent here today to be delivered to you people, these are the physically challenged people, will be delivered to you through Mr. Mane. Also handing over 200 sanitizers, 1,000 face masks, and 2,000 hand gloves for the people supported by the Gambia Federation for the Disabled. Mr. Mane is someone who initially approached the Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable Ahmed Lamin Samate, of their interest in our committee, and this was expressed, and we have been approached by the Honorable Minister, and we also have to endorse their involvement and their engagement. Because we know when you talk about COVID response, you talk about collaboration, you talk about networking, and you talk about participation, then also empowering of the people. Then now we also think of inclusion is very key. We have to make sure that we think in that line to make sure that all aspects of the society are engaged and mobilized and engaged in COVID-19 response. As a result of that, the committee thought it necessary to work very closely with the Gambia Federation of the Disabled. We have the president here, and Mr. Mane is here, who has been the one who initiated our relationship. And we want to assure you that the committee, who is also representing the National Health Emergency Committee, is in full support of the partnership. And we are going to work with you from here. Mr. Mane is going to work with our team and then the Gambia Federation of Disabled to ensure that these materials reach out to people who are already inland. And along the way, when they are also giving out this material, they will also be carrying out some sensitization activities. Because we want also them to be involved in the sensitization so that from here, whatever message they have, they can also use that to sensitize their families and their immediate contacts so that they can also be able to prevent themselves from the transmission of COVID-19. So on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Health and the entire senior management and the committee members of the Risk Communication and Committee Engagement, we should thank the Gambia Federation for the Disabled and also thank Mr. Mane for thinking of supporting over 300,000 people who are disabled, who are living with disability in this country, to ensure that they also feel that they are part of the process, because they also feel that we communicate to them and they also take appropriate actions to prevent themselves from contracting the virus. So be rest assured, Mr. Mane, the ministry will be with you and we make sure that we facilitate the transportation of these materials to where they are supposed to be taken. On that note, I thank you for coming, and I also saw someone, Mr. Sonko, who has also been working with us in trying to communicate to people who cannot communicate in terms of the languages. He has been using his skills in sign language to communicate to people, and we have been working with him on the COVID since the preparation to the development of the plan and to implementation of risk communication and community engagement activities. And we will continue to work with this body so that everybody will be part of it and nobody will be left behind with regards to COVID-19 response in the Gambia. So I thank you all, and I want to hand over this material to Mr. Mane on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Health. And we also have to thank Mr. Babandin Sabali. Mr. Sabali is the head of is the Director of National Pharmaceutical Service at the Minister of Health, and also doubled as the chairperson of the Logistics and Security Committee. So when this request came from Mr. Mane, it was really forwarded to Mr. Sabali, Babanding, and Babanding did not waste any time, just gave approval for the materials we provided on behalf of the ministry. So we also have to thank Mr. Sabali and his team for really providing this material to the Gambia Federation of the Disabled for them to use that to help their members to protect themselves, and as well as also raise awareness among themselves on COVID-19 and on its precautionary measures. I also want to emphasize that although we are going to open some of the public places, the government decided to do that, it will happen, but also we also need to be mindful and also continue to ensure and observe the precautionary measures for COVID-19. We have to make sure that we observe them. The issue of social distancing must be observed. People should also make sure that those who are affected with COVID, the families and individuals, should also not be stigmatized or discriminated against, so in our communities or within their families and households. I also want to appeal to the general public also to cooperate with the security agents in the implementation of the activities, and as well as the health authorities of the information they are giving out. So I also want to appeal to the public also to rely on information coming from the Minister of Health and the World Health Organization with regards to COVID-19 in this country. So we started smoothly, and we will also continue to end smoothly with the intervention on COVID. So I want us, that collaboration to be strengthened. We also want to thank the media wherever we are. Since the start of this COVID-19, the media has always been on the side of the Minister of Health and its partners. So I also want to thank them for being very proactive and being very supportive. Finally, I want to thank the National Coordinator for the response, Mr. Senghor. We will also continue to work with you along the way to ensure that we make the Gambia free of COVID-19. Inshallah, it will happen. Thank you very much. I now give you what?
Very much the Director of Health Promotion and Education, Mr. Modunjai, for that strong words. COVID-19 response is for everybody. It's an inclusive process. And then like everybody will be protected in one way or the other. Despite religion, differently disabled, everybody needs to be catered for, and we're doing that, inshallah. Thank you, Director Njai, once again for that statement. I disseminated effectively. Thank you very much. That's all for today until we come your way. Thank you.
dog na the trap where you pre-empire and I build it up brick by brick. This is this. You're watching Gambian Talents TV, you know. What the problems?
Take it from a kid. Mim famang hanifen tuaja. I'm getting it all is soul man. Muka hanifen tualeja. I'll be need la. Ya dualeja. I'll say japur jam. Ndul kabi freedom of space te bualeja. Dual bela dua du bual be bua. Eh. Allah bolan esti Gambian dream brikama boyo.
Ndul kanda.
It's all about Gambian Talent TV. Tune in direct. Ala GB. Stay tuned. Mimbe kidding Gambia. Mimbe kidding Gambia Bantala. Gambia. Look.
This is Abdul Karim Wagan Faye, and right now you're tuned into Gambia Talent.